Get Snoop in there, he'll whoop this white boy's ass.
I don't know.
Ben's not on. He's fucking off. He's getting his shit rocked.
I think he's still dropping like Bitcoin.
Yeah,
That was one of the comments on Logan Paul's Instagram post. I mean, you were looking through them. Get the comments.
Get them back up.
Yeah, get them back up because some of them were good.
Dude, some of them were actually really funny.
I mean, a lot of people.
Yeah, like
a
thousands.
lot of people thinking it's rigged.
Thousands were saying it was rigged.
I think a lot of people just hate Jake Paul so much. Everything he does is
bullshit. They seem to think that hit that Jake landed was just like some joke and that Ben just took a fall for
it
the
was
sake
a big
of it.
hit.
It was a big hit.
It was a big hit.
Someone said, who else is mad at themselves for staying up to watch this shit?
Yeah, and paying for it. But that's the thing with boxing. You just want to know. You want to know bad enough that you're going to pay for it.
This is awesome, actually. Ben just got a bag for nothing. He's the real winner. Didn't train or anything. Dad bod.
I think he could be the biggest winner.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
The amount of clout, the amount of attention he got, it was huge.
Yeah, he
got a lot from it.
Crazy.
Well, not anymore. It's falling. It has.
Yeah, like him, yeah.
No, it surely is falling. But we've upgraded the set in a pretty huge way. I'm just saying. It was only about...
It's got character now.
It was only about 10 minutes ago we upgraded the set, but we realised we needed something new.
Outspoken show. Oof.
It's Toey.
That's quality.
Wow. It's Toey.
Toey's the word. Toey is definitely the word.
You can tell that it's high quality just by looking at the way the pen's been inked.
It's got depth.
It's got depth. The pen positioning, the
contrast between highlights and shadows, impeccable.
It's perfect.
It's shit house.
I think it sums us up.
And just the way
the
the blue tack just holds it all together. It really brings it together.
Yeah.
Wow.
In quite a nice way, I think.
Yeah.
Over promise, under deliver. I think that's what we did with our set promises.
I think
that's all right.
Well, yeah, we over. Maybe we're started to deliver.
We're working on it.
We've started to deliver.
We're getting there.
But Ben Askren didn't deliver.
No, he didn't deliver shit.
That was bad. It was a 90-second fight.
Yeah, dude, I backed
pretty good.
Butterbelly Ben, and he got his shit rocked.
You both did. I just want to remind you.
Well, I back a fighter over a YouTuber, but I guess I don't know anything about boxing, and I'll never claim to because it's a bit different.
That's about right.
A bit different.
Yeah. What's Jake Paul doing now? Like,
dude, he's
partying.
He's licking his wounds, and then he's going to tease something up again.
I don't think Jake Paul's licking his wounds. I saw him take a swig of Snoop Dogg's Indigo bottle of alcohol.
That wasn't planned at all.
Yeah, no. I don't think Snoop's launching an alcohol brand at all.
Do you reckon Snoop versus Jake? Someone said that in the comments on one of the posts. They said, get Snoop in there, he'll whoop this white boy's ass.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think Snoop
would be pulling out the Glock. It's not the same.
Yeah, not a fair fight.
Yeah, but who's Jake Paul going to fight now?
Do we care if it's not a boxer? Or if it's not someone who's at least...
I think so, because it just means he's not legitimate. I think everyone will just keep taking him as a joke.
It's hard for him because he could go fight a good boxer, to which he will probably lose. There's still a big level a gap that needs to be bridged. Or he could go and fight someone like Bryce Hall or someone like that who's getting a lot of talk in the boxing community at the moment. Well, not maybe boxing community, but social community. Like, is that because there's probably more bag for Jake Paul in fighting a Bryce Hall than there is going to fight a boxer, even if they're mid-range, low to mid-range.
But isn't Jake Paul the draw? Like, it doesn't matter who he's versing, really. Like, he's going to bring in people regardless.
Yeah, you've got a point.
Wants to give a payday to.
Well, literally everyone was saying in the comments, they're like, rigged, we wanted Jake Paul.
It was not rigged.
Yeah,
it was not rigged.
No, you cop a punch like that.
You're going to sleep.
And Ben Askren's been known for having a good chin, but I've heard like ex-MMA fighters and stuff say once you get that one big knockout, like that knee to the face he got from Masvidal,
you lose your chin.
The chin doesn't stay forever.
Yeah,
it just takes one or two, and it's just you can go like a light after that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it does. I don't know. I think
fair enough.
I think Jake's got to have like a legitimate fight here. I mean, he's had a few mess arounds. He's 3-0 now, but does 3-0 count when they're not actual boxers? Some people say yes, because it takes something to just beat anyone in a physical combat sport. But
Just
then
wash your hands.
no. Anyway, long story short, I think he needs to fight someone serious.
Yeah. Do we care if he doesn't though? I don't think I would care
No,
if
I
he just
don't
versus another YouTuber. Like
I'd still
in
watch.
terms of what I watch, I don't think I would.
You
I don't think
care.
I would.
You'd watch
I wouldn't
anyway.
invest at all. I wouldn't watch if it was
You
just him
wouldn't
versus
watch.
another YouTuber. I don't care. At this point, I'm like, is he going to be a boxer or is he going to be a YouTuber? Like, what is he?
So it has to be a boxer
I think
now
so. If
for
he-
you
if he
to
wants-
keep following.
Yeah, like I don't know. It wasn't that interesting to watch that fight.
No, you're right. Yeah. And fight that goes for 90 seconds isn't that interesting. It wasn't an upset, so everyone just wanted to see Jake Paul's face get smashed.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we all paid to watch.
Yeah.
I don't hate the guy. He's done some dumb shit, but his marketing is at a different level to
Yeah, it has to
anyone
be.
else's. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's built a good personal brand.
Yeah,
Do you know who hasn't built good personal brand? That
Conor
Fire
McGregor.
Festival crap.
yeah.
They're losing so
brand
much
is-
money. It's ridiculous.
yeah.
They're down the gutter. They're
I
like,
don't know how they're paying for what they've got to pay for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because surely it's not Billy. What is it, Billy?
Billy McFarlane.
Billy McFarlane. Surely it's not him.
I think he's in the can.
Because yeah,
I think he's in the can.
he's gone. Where's
Ja Rule is cleared of all because this just came out.
Yeah,
that
fine.
I think 277 people that attended the Fire Festival, they're getting paid out 7,220 each. It was a class action lawsuit. The festival was meant to be in 2017, and it sort of happened where people went. It was shitty.
nothing like what they promised.
It was nothing
at
like
all.
what they promised.
No.
There wasn't the celebrity draw cards. Artists start backing out from this festival. It wasn't the luxury resort in the Bahamas. It was meant to be Pablo Escobar's old island. They couldn't even do it at that because they had some running water issue.
Who was it that promoted it and then took their post down? Was it?
Kendall Jenner?
Kendall Jenner.
I think
Yeah,
lots of social media influencers did the
250K
same
she was
shit.
paid to
Yeah,
put that
that's
post up.
ridiculous.
It was an orange
Orange tile.
thumbnail. Yeah,
Yeah.
orange tile. And a lot of other people did it. She got fined 90K for doing it, for putting that post up.
Would you?
Good return though. She still made
Good
160
return,
off it.
But Ja Rule's cleared.
Ja Rule's cleared.
For Kendall Jenner to get mixed up in it and not Ja Rule, I want to know who Ja Rule's lawyers are.
Was he cleared of? He doesn't have to pay a fine, anything. He's literally got no recourse
from
on
what
it.
came out, Ja Rule's cleared of any
Nothing.
wrongdoing.
Like if you watch that documentary, he's almost as much of a it's Billy McFarlane, I think, leads it, but Ja Rule was at least like half of that organization, like half of organizing this event.
The thing with
putting it
Billy
out
though is
there.
that like he messes around with money way too much, like
Yeah.
on multiple occasions, and no wonder he's now being put in the can.
Yeah, because wasn't he running some scam email thing after Firefest while he was being?
That was how the
Ja.
documentary ended. It was like, what are you doing, mate? It was like,
Just never learned a lesson. Just kept doing the
Yeah.
same shit over and over again.
Well, do we? No, because in that documentary too, like those workers, did they ever end up getting paid? And does this? Because there's nothing they can do, like the American law system could do about them getting paid
I
from
don't
that, is
think
there?
so.
Because that's who got screwed the most. Like, I couldn't care less about a few attendees with $1,000 spare to spend at a festival getting their
Yeah, sure.
getting
Yeah.
their money back. Like that's not going to affect them.
They've
But there's
probably
like
forgotten about the
hundreds
money,
of
yeah.
people who just worked, from what it was explained, like a month straight, no rest, being promised all this money,
Yeah.
got nothing, got screwed over.
It's so ridiculous.
I'll be honest,
So
the
silly.
construction industry's like that though.
Yeah.
Not always like that, but
They screw each other over.
yeah,
constantly.
it's cutthroat. There's so many stories of big buildings happening and the company that was doing it goes bankrupt mid-build and it's just an abandoned site. There's a lot of those in China that they call like
There's
there's
people-
abandoned cities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
There's
stuff.
people here in Oz, in Brisbane, who
Yeah.
even just like a duo builders group, they might start and one builder doesn't pay the other and vice
Yeah.
versa, steal money. It's like that throughout the whole industry.
We
Cutthroat.
we recently built a house. We sold that one and moved into here. But that house, when we were finding the builder, we had to look at also the building company's financials, just to make sure, okay, well, if they're going to spend 8 months building the house or however long it takes, are they going to be able to keep operating as a company
Yeah, right.
so that they don't stop mid-job? And then and they were fine. But it's just one of
Yeah.
those things that you have to look at because construction and that sort of stuff, and I doubt they got paid out.
That's
Those
crazy,
construction
yeah.
workers in the Bahamas, and you feel sorry for them because they just look like one big family that were desperate and helpless, and really got nothing from
But
it.
it pays out massively to have these big festivals because it draws in so many people. All their livelihoods change for the better, so long as the money comes in, right?
Yes.
But when it doesn't, dude, they just get dick all and they've just been screwed completely. I mean, a month to them is like 6 months to us, you know?
And there was one lady who, I think she ran the restaurant or the bar or whatever where they all went to. She put out like $50,000 of her savings just to pay all the people working for her for that month.
Holy dude.
Like, when you hear stories like that, that's the only time that thing I got like really like upset with it. I was like, I don't care about everyone else losing their money, like the people going. Yeah, but then those people work. It's just like
yeah, that's ridiculous.
50K.
Yeah, that is really silly. And then we've got like what's her name, Kendall Jenner, who walks away with $250,000, take 90 grand. Like she doesn't really suffer for that wrongdoing, and
But I don't know if she was a part of it really.
But she's participated and advertised it, and that false advertising has just completely messed with people's.
I don't know where I fall. I don't think she should have got like any more punishment than she got.
I'm surprised. I didn't even
know she got 90. Yeah,
I don't think she deserved it because she just put up a little thing advertising it 4 years ago now.
Yeah, that's the thing because to them that's their whole business is they'll promote things and they don't necessarily do they have a duty of care to like know everything about the company because like say someone they use this example in the documentary. Say like an influencer or a famous person does a promo for a car and has a recall because there's like bad airbags or something dodgy about the car. Should they then get punished for that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, isn't that what we were talking about the other episode with the whole BitClout thing? Like we're trying to say that these people, the power they wield with their name and the words they use, that completely dictates what some people decide to do with their life. For example, we've got like the Kardashians. People follow them religiously. There was a show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Yeah. I mean, these influencers, in my opinion, they need to take ownership for what they say and really analyze what they're putting on their name because those who aren't more analytical will just follow them completely. Does that sort of make sense?
It makes sense. I also don't feel that bad for those people then because there's got to be some personal responsibility. If you're just following this person because they're an influencer, which is... crazy, like if you're gonna just do things because they say that, like I struggle to feel bad for those kind of people too. Like it's understandable sometimes, but
yeah, sure.
I don't know if it's their fault unless they're like outright scamming.
They're not a part of it at that point when those tiles went out. I don't know when it was, but it would have been well before the actual event was meant to take place.
And
so it would have been part of the promotion. Like at that point. They took them out there. That was the stick. They took them out there. They showed them a great time, what it's going to be like. But at that point, they hadn't built anything. But they seemed to be flush with cash, having a great time. At that point, like even just analyzing it, like it seems fine.
And where's so for example, all that money that the audience has paid into, the Fyre Festival? Where's all that money sitting now?
I think they used it to try and make it work,
I
but
think
it just wasn't enough.
Money.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
They had no money. They
hadn't worked out what they needed.
Yeah, sure.
They were so underprepared.
Because then what they did is, and they go into this in the documentary, but they started asking people to top up their cards. So they had this card. It's like a go-kart or a TransLink where you preload it, and that was your spending money for the festival. And they were convincing people to try and get people to do that. They were struggling. And then he was taking trips to New York to try and get people to.
And this is what got him, isn't it? Like, wasn't it like falsely, or getting investments based on like false claims? That's what he went to jail for, essentially, because he was telling these investors that this is how much money we did and this is where we're at, and that was blatantly lying. And isn't that like the main thing
he's
like
put in jail for? He's debating like people into thinking that.
I'm not sure
because for some, don't quote me on that, but I believe it was something to do with like that stuff's probably where he went to jail for. More than misleading some festival goals.
Well, because, I guess the criminal trials were done. That was, I think, 2 years ago now. But this was the civil lawsuit that came from it, the suing and the class action, ending with $7,000 to be paid out to each attendant.
But that's only 277
But that's not
people.
all of them. No, there's a lot of losers in that. Well, what's 277?
I think there was 6,000 people who went to that thing. So what happened to the rest of them? They just weren't part of the class action lawsuit?
Well, I mean... Obviously, the company doesn't have enough money, so where are they going to find the other few dollars? You know what I mean?
Just pay out the 277 most.
That's only $2 million. They're only paying out $2 million. That's not that bad.
Yeah, it's like a kick in the toe for these guys. It's not really the greatest loss on the planet.
It's a bit rough.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know whether Ja Rule should have been put in jail though. That's the only thing. But
that might come around, Sometimes this sort of stuff happens, like they make a decision right here and now, and then they'll follow it up. Maybe they don't.
I don't know. Bernie Madoff died.
Dead.
He was a thought to be of a financial guru. $69 billion financial securities fraud. He had this scheme where bringing on investors. So I bring you on, you pay me to come on, and then when I bring the next person on, I bring dinner on. Then I pay the money that you gave me to him. I keep a little bit myself. So now I've got you two under me. Now I need to bring someone else on to pay out you two. And it's essentially a pyramid scheme. I'm not sure the difference between Ponzi and pyramid.
Well, isn't pyramid where you get someone to work for you, then they get someone to work for them, and then that's a pyramid? So that's the difference with a pyramid?
So it was a Ponzi scheme.
Okay.
$65 billion securities fraud. And he was the chairman of the NASDAQ, super well respected in the financial world, known as a wizard because he was just constantly outperforming these markets, and they were fake returns. He was just falsifying documents of trade statements. He had his kids working under him as well.
This is the problem when you lie. You're digging a hole, and you've got to keep digging the hole, and you've got to remember where you lied before, and the time before that, and the time before that, and you eventually get caught.
Is it one misstep that leads to that, or is it intention to go out and do bad?
I think it's...
Because when we look at it now, he's so far past... He's dead.
It's malicious.
He's dead. He was convicted to 150 years in prison. But when we look at it from when he got caught, which was 2008, 2009 during the financial crash, we look at it then, he's so far off the truth and the honest way of life. But is there one step that...
I think
was a 50-50, unsure whether I do this, I'll do it because I'm in a tight spot, and then it snowballs from there? Or is it...
No, to chase up...
it, I'm going for all the money here. I'm taking everyone's money.
But the thing is, if you're going to continue down that wrong path for so long, how can that be a misstep?
It's not one.
That your first decision, like oh shit, I'm in a tight spot, that might have been like the Hail Mary of missteps.
But it makes the next misstep a lot easier. That's the only thing.
But it's consciously making the misstep every time.
Yeah. You have to constantly decide.
It's choosing to just maybe
$65 billion as well. Like, come on now. I can't misstep my way into $65 billion. If I can, someone let me know how. Shit.
Yeah. Well, 150 years.
But
shit,
how long did he get away with it for?
Yeah. It's pretty
he
crazy.
He probably waited up to himself, didn't he? Like, if I keep this going, I'm living good now. I'll cop
that's what they all do, though. They all just think, I'm fine as I am now, and if I get caught, so be it.
I don't know. They all think that.
I'm sure some of them.
Some of them might
think it.
But do all of them go out with bad intentions?
Maybe not to start with, but the bad intentions come. And whether they choose to do it or not, they have the opportunity. I don't think you can say that it's not bad intention, because there is that bad intention at some point.
Yeah, they fell down the rabbit hole. Yeah. Greed kicks them, and they just keep going.
Greed, ego,
and that's where those bad decisions come from.
Yeah,
you might start off like harmlessly making a mistake, and then you decide, oh shit. But later on, when you're this far deep, that's not a mistake. That's a decision right there. Because you can own.
But the thing is, you're so far into the rabbit hole. You take one misstep, shit, tight spot, 2, 3, and then
it's tough to own that.
Up? And at 3 missteps, you're so much better than $65 worth of missteps.
Yeah, what?
But it's tough to own up after 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah, it is.
And then it's like, shit, we got to go all the way with this.
Well, just because it's tough doesn't mean it's like...
No,
it's
completely.
Like,
it's definitely not okay. Steven Spielberg was one of the people who lost money. Proper A-list type people. Doesn't make it okay. Yeah, but I'm just wondering if that's how it
I'm
comes
sure
about.
What you're saying. Like, it probably was easier every time to just keep it going, because a turning back means he would have gone to prison for whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't know.
It's a guarantee how much, going to prison instead of potentially bluffing.
Yeah, keeping it going made it more of a sentence, but...
Yeah, it's tough to say what you would do in that scenario, because you don't really know where those missteps were, so you don't know how you'd act in that's
of course.
But if he was falsifying...
but was he falsifying from minute one? That's what Luke's saying, is that he might have been falsifying 2 years into his missteps.
Yeah, but I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So what brought on the... No.
Yeah.
It's all.
Is it starting out with bad intentions, or is it starting out with good intentions, taking one slightly bad misstep that just brings you closer to the line, and then you start to see the line of good and bad, and then you see, on the line's actually not that bad, and it starts to get a little bit better, and then you can see a little bit over the line, and really it's not that bad. It's still over the line, but not that, and you start to get desensitized to it, and then you're 3 inches over that line.
And before
And owning up has consequences. And then
you're right.
Then it speeds.
You've got a point.
I don't know. No, I don't know the answer because he's fucking dead.
Who knows?
Who knows? But
Yeah.
like, again, like who cares? We did the wrong thing.
Could that have been Billy McFarlane's thing?
Yeah, it's a mental bubblegum, definitely.
Could it be ego? I think Billy McFarlane was like a lot of ego.
Oh shit!
I think
probably, yeah.
it was all like, look, I'm gonna make this. He probably had every intention to make it a great festival, but he had no idea what he was doing in terms of, apart from marketing and selling it as this amazing idea.
Like in over his head.
Like,
I mean,
he's
at
an
the
excellent
end, though,
marketer. Incredible. Like, it looked like a good festival.
Yeah, at the end of that doco, where he's just continuing to do the wrong thing, like that's definitely an ego-driven mistake. Definitely.
That's back to my question. Like towards the end, you feel like that's just like your last minute chance to try and fix things. At the end, you're just trying to hold on to what still exists, and it makes that misstep a lot easier.
That's it. Not being able to self-reflect and recognize,
Yeah.
oh, I fucked up here.
Yeah.
I've got to just own it now. No, let's just keep digging the hole. Like,
No.
I understand what you're saying because
Yeah.
it is probably exactly what you're saying, where they're like, the only way to get out of it is keep doing the thing that's wrong. But
And maybe you can pull it off. He's like, and
he
'cause
thinks
that's
he
what
can
it
pull
made
it off. He
look
thinks he can
like
get
in
away
the-
with murder.
In the thing, yeah, it looked like he had this like glimmer of light, and maybe it's a 1% chance, and maybe
Maybe.
everything will come good.
And I wonder what that play was with afterwards when he had that other email scam.
That
going.
looked bad.
But he's the one who got that guy, the cameraman, the camera crew, to come in and record everything. I wonder what that is. Like,
What's the plan there?
because he wanted everything recorded. He wanted all of this documented.
Maybe he wants to start again
Why?
from scratch when he comes out.
I think there's got to be some long play there. Like, what's he thinking? What's he thinking with that? Like, is it that how he's going to
Is
spin
it
it?
a
It's
Jordan
very
Belfort
strange.
Wall Street long play?
I have no idea. I have no idea why he would have that guy recording all this bullshit he's doing.
Because it
afterwards.
looked illegal as well.
Yeah,
That looks more illegal than the Fire Festival.
yeah. That was straight out scams. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't even a festival to
Yeah.
fall back on. But that was crazy.
But there's a lot going on in the music industry.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
huge.
albums that have just come out. I think what's starting to happen with COVID is, I think it's starting to end. I think festivals are starting to book artists. Artists are starting to go, okay, we can go on tour now. For about a year, they've not been able to perform, or just over a year, not being able to perform or tour. So I think they've had a lot of music that's been banked up as well. So I think...
But it's good though, even though they can't go and perform, they're still at least able to get stuff on streaming platforms. But the thing is,
There's
they're not
much
making
money on the streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Money comes from touring, and I think we'll start to see a lot more music come out in the next 6 months.
like as
because
in
of
on streaming platforms or just in general.
just artists releasing music, just because I think they've got a lot of work they had, but it wasn't the right time to release. Just because you can't tour, you can't make money. Streaming platforms, it's a revenue source. It's so small compared to what...
Exposure, isn't it? Just to get your stuff out there, to build up the hype for when you do go tour. So
There's a couple of artists that have grown from COVID. Ian Dior, 24K Golden, Mood. There's a lot of TikTok artists, Roddy Rich,
Yeah,
that,
sure.
that have come from it. They haven't even toured yet. They're some of the biggest artists, like...
Little Nas X.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't mind researching that just quickly to... But do you
Well,
know,
I don't know. There's definitely got a lot of talk about him recently
Yeah.
with all his raunchy videos or whatever, his music videos that have got lots of people in America very upset.
do you know the full story?
Well, I know that it's like him doing, I don't know, sexually suggestive things to the devil and shit like
God.
that. Like because he burst into the country scene, you know. A lot of people are saying that the country scene doesn't really like the way he's
Well, he's
promoting
gay.
his thing.
He's gay.
Yeah.
I can't imagine country scene, which is probably mostly redneck Americans,
Religious.
welcoming.
Yeah, the thing is outright going out and like grinding up on the devil is kind of like, you know,
what he's
fuck
done?
everyone. That's what it is. Have you seen
That's
that?
what no, I haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
he's
Is
like
that-
he's like twerking on the it's
Because his latest single, Montero, I think it's a single, Montero, that's, I think, number 2 on Billboard at the moment.
Yeah, well.
So big song.
you wouldn't know from the song though. Like the song's it's like a decent song, but you wouldn't know what's going on in the music video for it. Like
Isn't that the whole
Wow.
point of music though? And music videos is to just be like, it's to create talk and to
Yeah.
create that, wow, like what's he doing? You
oh,
know?
I don't think he's done anything wrong. He's
He's
done the
playing-
right thing in terms of publicity.
Yeah,
and
he's
getting his
literally
name
playing the
out
game.
there.
He's
Yeah.
playing the game.
He's good with that. The shoe thing as well.
what was the shoes? He's put...
He injected it. Was it a drop of everyone who made the shoes blood into these collaboration between him and what was the brand?
Was it a Nike? Was it a Nike?
It was
You
like
mean
a
like those
Nike
Nike
shoe, which is
bubbles?
why it got taken down.
The Air
But
Force bubble.
there was another company that
So he took blood, like a drop of blood
drop
from
of his-
each of those people. Oh my
and
god.
him and put it all in, and it's in that little bubble in the shoe. What was there's a they make these unique kind of shoes. I can't remember what the brand is now. At this
Oh, you
point.
mean
Look
the
it up.
like Australian Eshays were?
yeah, 100% those.
The
guys.
Air Maxes.
Yeah.
They were Nike 666 Nike Air Maxes.
Yeah, wow.
What's
They
the,
call them Satan shoes.
Yep.
They
Drop of
retail
blood
for $1,000 US.
They pulled them down. Nike pulled the plug on them because they were like, you didn't get our permission to do this.
That's kind of ridiculous.
665 sold in under a minute. Wow.
Like it's
That's
you know
moving
he's
units.
he's good at marketing as well. Like
Actually, you know what else sold out in under a minute? The Conor McGregor fight. He signed with Poirier to do a third fight.
one, yeah.
We watched that one, you reckon?
that one I will watch. That's legitimate fighting.
yeah.
I love UFC. Like I'll
We
watch.
might delve into that another day, but
Well,
we'll
that's
definitely have
a
a look
while
at it.
away.
Yeah, we might have a look at
That's
it later
July
on.
10. I can't remember where I think it was Vegas. They've announced the fight will be. That's exciting because I think Conor McGregor's career is over. I think it's over.
I think if he doesn't win this one, there's not much UFC he can do left. He could go fight a YouTuber probably. He'll probably fight Jake Paul next.
I think that's his move.
You reckon? I
He's
think,
got nowhere else to go after that.
and why not? Because that's like keep that money stream coming in.
And I think it'll work well for Jake Paul because Conor McGregor's more legitimate than Ben Askren is because Conor McGregor's actually done a boxing fight. And Conor McGregor was still good 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, but he'll still kill him.
Is Jake Paul too
I agree.
big for him? Jake Paul's huge compared to Conor McGregor.
You can still cut.
Like he fights at 145, 155 in the
Yeah.
UFC, and Jake Paul's 190. Like is that
Okay,
going to be a
yeah.
problem? You reckon? Like is that probably why they haven't even gone for it?
Well, they
His
don't.
weight's huge in boxing. And
Yeah, it is. Only when you're going for a title. I'm not sure if it comes into an issue.
it'd be like
when
a
is
catch
it-
fight or whatever.
well,
they
you've
call
got
it.
to, your trainer or yourself can agree to
Yeah.
meet weights or to not meet weights. For example, you might
Yeah.
say, "All right, fine, you can have a 20 kilo advantage, and we'll."
Which is the Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul fight.
And that's
So
where they pump the
obviously-
money.
Yeah.
That's where the
Yeah.
money comes from.
And
those sort of
I think
agreements.
that'll be a great move for Jake Paul. I think that'll be a great move for Conor McGregor. I don't think fighting Poirier is a good move at all. I think he's trying
Why?
to avenge something that I don't think he's able to. I don't think he's physically good enough to beat Poirier.
Because Poirier's a beast.
Poirier's a
Like
beast.
he lost to Khabib,
yeah.
Yeah, but
who's
that guy's
a
an animal.
freak. Yeah, like the best in
He's a
that
fucking
division
bear.
ever.
You're fighting a bear.
Like
Dude,
yeah.
his wrestling technique is just insane.
And-
Anyway,
I think
But-
Conor McGregor's washed up, and he's got businesses that are based. The success of the businesses are based on the success, the success of his fighting. The whiskey business, Proper 12,
Yep.
August McGregor, his clothing and suit business. They rely on his success.
Do you
I
think
don't. Everyone, have you had the Proper 12 whiskey?
no.
Everyone?
I've heard it's not a high end whiskey.
That's
It's not that good. It's just
Yeah, it's not that
it's
great.
just whiskey.
It's not that great, and I think he can get away with it being not that great
Because he's
as
Conor
long as
McGregor.
he's still winning though.
Sure.
If he's not winning, who gives a fuck
wouldn't
about
that-
some not so great whiskey?
Dude, there's so many good whiskeys out there that I
that's
prefer to drink.
that's what I mean.
But Conor McGregor's lost a lot at this point in terms of,
Exactly.
but he's still doing well. People still want to watch him fight. Is that?
But
Do you
that's
think?
the
When do you get sick
spectacle.
of it? When do you get sick of him losing?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if they will.
He
Like,
can't trash talk anymore. Well, he's
very respectful now.
Yeah,
he loves Dustin
That's
Poirier.
also
Like,
his issue. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I tried your whiskey, and Dustin Poirier's got his own brand. They're complimenting them on each other's brands. I respect him as a fighter. It's like, fuck this shit. Like, I don't want to watch
well, I
this.
mean, it's nice to see. You don't see that much in these
you
days.
don't see
You
each
said
other
George
kissing.
St. Pierre, respectful no trash talking.
Yeah, and then he gets in and whoops your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
But you need someone to do the trash talking to push the fight.
To promote it, yeah. I think Conor McGregor's still got enough of a draw where it doesn't really matter. And Dustin Poirier's big with UFC people. They understand.
Yeah.
That he's
Conor
he's a
McGregor
beast.
brings everyone in,
Yeah.
but will stop bringing everyone in if he keeps
Oh
losing.
yeah, I think if he loses this one, that like UFC, it's why are you doing it anymore? Like, how can you want to go in there and get beaten up when you have as much money as he does?
Well, does he have that much money? This is what you always got to ask yourself. Some people live this fake make-believe lifestyle, and he's really got shit all, and he's just continuing boxing because he's got nothing to fall back on.
You'd have no idea.
You'd have no idea until the last moment.
Because maybe the whiskey's not doing that good.
Maybe
it's
it's
just
not,
like,
yeah.
Dude, his
it's
whiskey's
all
dropping like belly butter Ben.
Belly butter Ben.
in
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
And Bitcoin, yeah. But I guess we've got off track of the music because I wanted to talk about how the streaming wars, it's been going on forever. iTunes Music. iTunes started out $1.29 for a song. Spotify came out $6 a month for students, $13 a month for adults. And then you get a whole laundry, not even a laundry list, just a big,
Just a catalog, everything,
every song under the sun. It's all under Spotify for a lot less. Apple Music have done the same thing. What do you use? Do you listen to music?
I used to use Apple Music. I only switched over when I started listening to when Joe Rogan went to Spotify. That's literally the only reason I downloaded Spotify, because Apple Music did enough for me. I didn't care enough.
To be fair, the times I'm listening to music, I'm at home, or I'm listening to a lot of like speeches and podcasts when I'm running. I mean, my big time for music is at home, so YouTube's my thing.
And I was also just looking. You don't even have an Apple, so there's no Apple Music on there.
Oh hell no, dude, I don't do Apple.
Yeah,
no.
But I saw this funny meme. It was talking about how Spotify, they curate playlists for you based on what you search. They'll give you a year in review. They'll do all these things, and then the meme goes like, "We'd pay you if we could just to like keep you on the service." And Apple Music does none of that. No playlists. No suggested playlists.
I like that though.
No,
that's why that's why I didn't come over. I didn't want them to tell me what music I want to listen to. Like I've never listened, or very rarely do I have a Spotify playlist made for me where every song's great. Like the ones I know already I liked, but I never find any new music through that.
But there's
I might have screwed up my algorithm, mate. I might have done something.
Your
weird.
algorithm's buggered. Start a new account.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Some people,
I don't like any of the suggested songs I get on that, so I don't even bother.
yeah, but some people love the fact that they get spoon-fed stuff. I think that's definitely like
YouTube algorithm in the suggested is killer.
YouTube's great. Yeah,
I
YouTube
hear
kills it every
yeah,
time.
but that's what I like. I mean, like if I'm on the computer at home, that algorithm, it's popping. I'm hearing some bangers for sure, and that's awesome. So,
Well, YouTube, not YouTube, Spotify and Apple Music, they've come out. Teddy's barking. I want to bring Teddy on the set.
go get him.
Like,
Finish what you're saying and then go get him so everyone can see this cute ass little dog.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You're basically just saying.
I'll say it, and then he's still barking. Apple Music have said they're going to double what Spotify is paying, potentially triple what Spotify is paying the artist. So they want to pay 1 cent per stream. Spotify currently pay between
1 cent, 1 penny.
Well, they're the same thing.
Same.
Yeah, so 1 cent per stream. Spotify currently pay 33 to 50 cents. So it's 2 to 3 times more than Spotify's paying. Let's bring Teddy on.
This is what we were talking about the other day, where these companies they just increase things by the smallest margin, and it makes a massive difference. I mean, well, now they're paying artists millions. Like Apple paid 60 million last year. Yeah, that's a lot of money, and you increase the tiniest little margin, that just skyrockets. I mean, how do you feel about it? Do you think they should be paying more, less?
Well, I think the fact that Apple's starting to pay more. Do we think that'll mean more artists will go with Apple exclusively? And is that all it's going to take to get everyone to jump back onto Apple Music, especially if they got the iPhone? Is that gonna bring them back? Because Spotify, what's the difference in listenership in terms of subscribers?
60 million subscribers on Spotify, and I think it's about 230 million.
Well, it says 155.
Okay, that's correct. Yeah.
So that's 3 times. But do you think like a couple of big artists to go,
like
I'm Apple Music exclusive?
Yeah, Drake just says you can't hear me on Spotify,
and that flips. Same kind of shit.
That could be it, because I think that's what Apple Music have to do. I wonder if I'm even speaking to them.
You speak a little closer. Just get a little closer.
Because that's what Spotify did with Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And that
got me.
got you. I feel like Joe Rogan might have dipped a little bit. I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
in terms of, like,
Spotify hold the
listeners.
analytics pretty close.
Yeah,
So
who knows?
it's hard to know, whereas you can see it if it were to be on YouTube. But if if Apple Music were to then say, okay, Drake, here's 500 million, you're staying on our platform exclusively for 3 years, he's probably doing that. It makes sense.
Of course.
I wonder if that includes YouTube as well, because there's no potential otherwise to put out music videos. And then you were to say to a couple of other people as well.
Yeah, that's where those big game-changing moments will really shine. I think that we should just keep our eyes peeled. We're not going to know until, I guess, like the last minute. Like, people can speculate all they want. For example, like we're saying, Drake goes for 3 years. Apple, if they're going to make a move, they're just going to make it so public it's not funny. I mean, that's what they do with a lot of their
That's what
big
Spotify
moves.
did. That's what Spotify had to do.
Yeah, you've got to,
Just
especially
to be taken
when...
seriously in the podcast space.
Here's a little curveball. Amazon. We were talking the other day about how they are trying to grow their own sort of world. Games, music, movies. Do you think that they might try something like that? They just try to get in on the streaming action?
Do you want to say goodbye to Teddy?
Bye, Teddy.
Bye, Teddy.
Oh,
See you, dude.
Well, have they got anything in the works with that? Or do you reckon they're going to do, what is it, like Apple kind of took over the phones, like everything to a phone. So that's why I don't know why Apple would even bother with the music, because they own everything else. Like,
they're in everyone's head. They've got really awesome marketing. Steve Jobs just set them up for success from minute one. I mean, the whole AirPods thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Like, they went from corded earphones to non-corded to back to like a dongle that you can put in so you can have corded AirPods. Like, it's just that sort of behavior is dominant. Like, it just shows you we don't care what you think. We're still going to try to sell you this ridiculous shit.
Yeah. So Amazon, are they going to... Do they have anything music-wise that they're working on? Like, we don't know.
We don't know. I was just speculating. I said, wouldn't it be interesting if
they became like a player?
They'll get into it because they're that big. They sort of have to throw a few big fucking bags at the music industry. Like, that's what they'll do, and it won't work, or it will work, and they won't flutter any eyelids at it regardless. It doesn't even matter to them.
Don't those companies just wait for like someone to make something that's competitive, and then they'll buy it up, and then they'll try and grow it?
Yeah.
So
that's what they do.
So that's what they're just waiting for, that one thing to come out.
Competitors and grow themselves, or sometimes they'll buy out a competitor just to use their technology. It's just games at that point. It's like, we like you. Yeah. It sort of is like, I feel like Amazon's biggest competitor is the government. Yeah. If they start going, okay, we want to tax you a little bit more now, then that hurts Amazon. Like, they just need to get a few more lobbyists and then you're pretty good as a company.
I think they're pretty good.
Stepping down. I don't know if he's going to Hawaii or Panama or what's his plan.
He's chilling out with bags.
Relax.
On a Monaco, just relax and...
Yeah. But,
God. Rich man.
Yeah. But how many... Are you good at maths? I'm not.
Okay. It depends on the question before I answer this.
What I was going to do is I was going to get up. I've got
pull it up.
A friend who makes a little bit of music, Akka from school. Shout out Akka.
Yeah.
I want to get him on the podcast.
Eventually we will.
At some point.
Be pretty awesome.
I'm just going to see how many streams he has and times that by Spotify's pay rate and Apple Music's.
Right. Get a rough estimate of what. What were the rates again? It was 1 cent for Apple.
And it was like
0.0. So Spotify gets more.
Yeah, but it's purely because of the...
a third of a cent.
Yeah,
so half a cent.
Third of a cent as opposed to 1 cent.
1 cent, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just they've got so many streams going at one moment, so...
Do you want to open up Spotify on your phone? Because I'm just looking on desktop.
Dude, I don't have it.
I don't
have it.
I have a feeling they might have taken streams away.
You reckon streams are gone?
Won't show you?
No, like, you usually see that.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Iconic.
Triple Iconic.
CONIC.
We might...
Oh, here we go. 50,547 monthly listens. We can use that.
That's pretty awesome, though.
That's huge. Verified artist.
Yeah, dude, shout out Askren. That guy started from literally nothing.
Yeah, Askren's cool dude. Yeah. Super chill, great to talk to. We always were in class together, so we would both do no work and sit next to each other and chat.
Best class.
He tried to get me into Bitcoin really early. I think this is year 11 legal studies. He's showing me about it.
I hope he's got
I'm not interested at all. It was, I don't know, I reckon it might have been around $1,000 or $800, something like that. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing it. But at that point I had shares, so I think that's why he shared it with me. because he knew I was somewhat interested. I wonder if he still got it, because that would be interesting.
We should ask him when he comes on eventually.
Yeah.
Get his take on it.
Verified artist, that's something new that's been added to Spotify. Let's get the calculator up as well.
Verified artist, so it's like Twitter model. Verify him.
Yeah, Instagram,
He could get his own BitClout stuff going.
He's a what's it called, a sleeper. Didn't think about it, don't they?
Yeah.
But verified, is it the same kind of thing with Twitter, where you got to be certain amount of articles, or is it more just streamers and followers on this?
I'd imagine it has to be, like, I think the way they work is the likelihood of you being imitated. So, like, there's a lot of, I mean, Muscle Nation, for example, you've seen when Muscle Nation are doing giveaways or promotions, all the fake pages pop up, which is why they try and verify to separate the fake
from the
with the blue
legitimate.
tick. So fake, no blue tick, to the legitimate blue tick. That's sort of the premise of it. And I guess Spotify,
similar, yeah.
I think people have started to put a price on it. People want to buy verified tags. It's just a clout thing.
Yeah.
If you're sliding into DMs with a blue tick, you're probably going to get at least an open or a seen, potentially a reply. I've heard a lot about that.
It's the only reason you do it, isn't it?
Do you think that carries a lot of weight? Like, do you honestly think it does?
It carries huge weight.
In what regard, though?
As in, like,
seriously.
I DM someone and they actually look at my stuff just because of you think so?
Yeah. People look through their DMs. Some people don't. You guys probably don't.
I don't give a single shit. I've got nothing to prove to anyone. I just know that I'm happy with where I'm at. And so this whole blue tick shit for me, I don't know if I'm an old mindset.
Soul.
Or
You're an old soul. You're a very old soul. You're close, yeah. You're not as old, but
for example, some people might sit at home and they're texting and stuff. I'm reading a book or I'm chilling out watching a video or something.
Yeah, I'm a terrible replier. In group messages. If it's a direct message to me, I feel like I'm all right. But
I'm not a great replier, but I do think that the blue tick carries weight.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And when you are getting messages or DMs and then you look through your requested, you see however many people are in the request, and then there's a couple with a blue tick. You're probably going to check them first because it's a key point of differentiation. It's something different.
Yeah, if you're Dwayne The Rock Johnson, you go like 50,000, requests. Like, you're probably...
More.
Yeah, more. You'll probably be looking for that blue tick, I guess.
Yeah.
No way you're looking at some random dude messaging you, hey, Dwayne, I'll intern with you for free for 4 years. Like, you're not looking at that.
No, yeah. He also doesn't need an intern. Well, as in, he could just pay someone.
Yeah.
But, so, Iconic, mate of ours, 50,000 monthly listens. That's huge.
Yeah, it's nuts.
As a podcast, that puts you in the top 1%.
Yep.
We've sort of spoke about how we're trying to get in the top 50%. But that would put you in the top 1%. 50,000 monthly listens. That's $500.
We're actually sort of coming up to...
$500 a month.
Yeah, nothing.
Oof, not sustainable.
No.
But there's a lot of work that goes into that.
There is.
Huge amounts of work.
There is. That's crazy.
I mean, like, when Aka comes on, he can definitely sort of branch into, like, where he's come from and how much work
I want
that's
to ask
taken.
him as well how much he's gotten from Spotify.
But it's nuts, like, to put this much work in and them not take you seriously financially. I think that's a little bit of a joke, especially we always want to say, oh, where's the new music? Where's the new music? Well, where's the money for them?
Yeah.
If he's only getting paid, pennies and that, what, you expect him to release brand new songs that are killer every single week? No, not possible.
Yeah.
Especially during COVID when they couldn't tour or very limited, because that is where the money is in that industry. Like,
he did. I think his biggest payday was when he was performing under Tiger. Tiger came to Brisbane. I think it was 2018, 2019. He got paid well for that.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah. That's good for him. Better than $500 a month. Like, that's not encouraging. That's the thing. I don't know what the balance is, because you can't just reward people who are shit, but you also want to give people who are shit a reason to aspire to be better and to improve.
Well, could you have some kind of like tier system, for example? As in, like, okay, you've just hit, your first 10,000 people. We're going to give you an extra 0.03 of a cent, for every stream. Okay, you've just hit 50,000 people. We're going to give you an extra 0.05 and continue on. Is that something that you think is feasible, or is that just skyrocket the price that they're paying by too much?
I think because there's no competition, like Apple Music and Spotify. That's it in terms of like stream. I guess YouTube too, but in terms of people on the go, they're the two ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, what's the incentive for them to start giving the artists more money if they can get away with doing what they're doing now?
I guess a better culture, like that's literally the only thing, and or maybe to steal Apple or to steal Spotify's streams. Like you're not.
Yeah. Do you know much about Nipsey Hussle?
I know a little bit. I know he's dead.
He's passed away. Yeah, and I only listened to him when he passed away. But back in, I think, 2013, he was selling CDs. Because he saw everyone, he's very smart. Just by listening to all interviews of him, he saw everyone going to streaming, but he still had a small group. And it was, I guess, sort of like, we were sort of talking about, like, for the podcast, we just want to develop a small group of, like, true fans. Instead of trying to hit and have everyone listen to us, we just want, like, a tight group. So he goes, I've got this small group, and if I can make $100,000... on this album, that's me. I'm happy. Yeah. So he, I think it was 1,000 CDs or 10,000 CDs times 100, sold them at $100 each. No one charges $100 for a CD.
No,
it's insane.
That's crazy.
Especially when you can go on Spotify. You can still do that. It's 2013, so it was available for free. But he goes, the people who appreciate my music will be willing to pay more to get it on a CD, and then he would throw in other things. So it might be something to come and watch him record or perform, or a signed t-shirt.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Little other things that don't cost that much to him, but add value to his true fans.
Yeah, that's
so that, and it was you can listen for free. It's out there. Anyone can have it. But if you want to support me, this is what I'm doing. And then that, I can't remember the name of that album. And I read about it and I'm like, damn, I want to buy that album. And he's dead, but like I just want to buy that because I think it's just such a great play marketing wise, and it just made me look at him in a really cool light. And then he did something else called Mailbox Money, where he then went and sold a $1,000 album.
Wow.
And that sold out. And then just before he died, he did one called Mailbox Money, and that's the term of passive income when you don't work but money keeps showing up into your bank account, your mailbox money, for $10,000. And I think he sold, this was last year or 2 years ago I was looking, and he sold 9 of them. And it's at that point it was still up for sale. I'm not going to spend $10,000 just to show some support. Yeah. But
that's pretty full on though, that like he really hit the nail on the head, which was when you step your game to the next level day after day after day, people will respect that, and then you can start putting whatever price you want on it. Yeah. I mean, he showed it. He went from 100
but he was adding these experiences on so that people value him.
Yeah.
But someone who doesn't care about him won't value it. But to someone who truly cares about him, that was what he was going for.
But there's the online version of it now, and like your Patreons is that kind of model. Your OnlyFans, which has now turned into just
porn.
Turned into essentially porn you pay for. Which what's the point? But regardless, those kind of models, they've kind of taken that as especially the online version of it. Patreon, like there are lots of podcasts and that do Patreon exclusive episodes where it's like there's one I subscribe to. I'm like, there's only one I want to give my money to. There's one.
Really?
It's like $5 a month.
Yeah.
It's in the budget. The Flagrant 2. It's a great podcast. They're outrageous and hilarious. A couple of comedians from New York. It's just great value.
But so you can listen.
Andrew Schultz. And
dude, he's one of my favorite comedians. He is so good, dude. So good. Absolute quality.
He's a marketing genius too.
Blue Chew.
Is he the one we got behind Blue Chew?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Andrew Schultz, basically awesome comedian. Definitely recommend to go suss him out. He's a little bit controversial, but he's very funny. Yeah, awesome guy.
Hilarious.
Long story short, the start and end of pretty much every show, live show, or even some of his YouTube stuff, Spotify stuff, he would always shout out his male enhancement Blue Chew sponsorship. And it blew up. Like, it went nuts. And the guy's very, very smart with his marketing.
Because he
did well in code. He says
on Logan Paul's podcast. He has plugs for the Blue Chew. So you can listen to Andrew Schultz's podcast at any time for free.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On no, he's got one version. So one a week, I believe, is just on the podcasts app.
Yep.
The Apple Podcast app or whatever, probably on
which
Spotify
is pending for us, by the way. It's the pending approval. It won't be long. And
then he's got one exclusive one where they don't hold back anything essentially, and it's go on Patreon. So it's just like.
That's awesome.
They're legitimate fans. And they tier it. So you can give us $5, you can give us $10, $15, whatever. And then I don't know if they're one of the ones that scales the content you get based on that. because some will give you some content if you pay this, that.
Yeah.
But it's the same kind of model.
So what are you getting for $5?
Just the extra podcast a week, video, and like some random like video content they do.
What are you buying it for? Are you buying because you want to support, or you
essentially?
want
I did it because they became the one that I listened to. Like they're so good, and he's just like he said himself, like COVID was the best thing to happen to him in terms of his marketing, because he was the one going online, one of those comedians who just focused on online and building that up. And he just killed it over that period. So he was able to adapt.
He makes some really cool YouTube specials.
Yeah.
I think, he uses another program for his specials, but I know that the YouTube ones are just excellent. They've got thousands and thousands of views. Like, he did
Netflix's last one. He got on Netflix.
It.
Yeah.
He makes it so that when you flick it on, you're just like, oh yeah, Andrew Schultz, and you're ready for it, and you're just hyper. And that's special. And I think that's the whole point of this Patreon stuff. I mean, there's miniature painters who I watch on YouTube. They do the same thing with their Patreon. You might have a tutorial on how to paint non-metallic metal paints, and then it just keeps going up, and that's that tiered system you were talking about. But these guys who set out to give you extra content just for small pieces of money, it's awesome. Especially when he's like that.
Capitalize your true fans.
Yep.
There's a book I've been really, really wanting to read. Sort of, I don't like to read, but I want the audio book of it, but it doesn't exist. It's 1,000 true fans or 1,000 super fans, and it's just it just talks about harnessing the fans that really appreciate, that really fuck with your shit. And I think that's what that Patreon is
that's
about.
That's what it is, yeah.
That's what the OnlyFans is different, because it's not really. I think it's just you're buying pictures, you're not buying into the person's pictures.
I don't even know.
Yeah, you're not buying into them per se. I mean, that's what we're aiming for here. We're not trying to sell our OnlyFans, but
you don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We're aiming to build that super fan community, because I mean that's what we love. That's what we've grown up with. I mean, it's really fantastic when you get that sort of close-knit community, because it's a lot more fun and it's a lot more genuine.
And you're not subject to the advertisers, like. If they want to drop you, it doesn't matter. Like, because you have your own kind of revenue stream directly from the fans. Yeah. You're not worried about selling things. Like, that's... Yeah. I think that if you get to that level, that's where it's...
Yeah, sure.
True.
I've realised we didn't welcome people to the podcast.
No. They know what's happening.
No, but I still want to welcome, if people are still listening.
Welcome.
Welcome to the number 5 podcast in the world. Thank you for watching, viewing, subscribing, liking, commenting.
The comments are awesome.
The comments are great. We love seeing the comments, and we love seeing the shares. Yeah. But thank you for listening this afternoon's,
this morning's podcast.
The post-fight podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, big thank you, guys.
Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Hit that bell notification for future videos.
Check out some of the clips that happen. There's some good stuff coming.
They haven't gone up yet.
They haven't. But they'll be coming up.
They'll be coming up soon. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. See you guys.